I think YouthBuild's mentoring program is the formal way of building relationships. It definitely for us, I think, is what are the most impactful ways that we influence students and alumni. And I think from a staff perspective, it's also just like a great skill to learn how to be a mentor.
YouthBuild learned many moons ago that the more you increase adults in the lives of young people, that the success rate for those young people increase, right? And when we went to a mentoring program, it was with that in mind, and we guaranteed that every young person that walks in the building would have a positive adult in their life, right? And the moment that a young person walks in the door, there's a room full of caring adults. So it makes these sort of organic relationships. So while one is intentional, there's an organic nature to mentoring that, again, it happens in a place where you have caring adults that work with young people, and that makes the combination of like what people, what students, what staff, what external partners look and see and feel when they talk about and see like mentorship.
You know, we have a lot of young staff every year. I think learning how to be a mentor then also encourages you to figure out how to get mentors in your life. So I really believe it has an impact on staff just as much as it has on our young people.
So Chris McFadden was an AmeriCorps member, a full-time AmeriCorps member. We call him our community projects coordinator. You know, my relationship with Chris, although I was his supervisor, grew very much into a mentoring big brother relationship. You know, I mean, we're from Philly. I'm like, I took him under my wing, you know, and he was willingly accepting of that.
Yeah, he's legitimately big bro. So many moments after we sent a few black men home, and I'm saying black men for a reason in this moment. There were moments when they left his office and then I just broke down and cried because of what we just spent an hour talking about and how intense the moment was for 3 black men in one space. But there was also that moment when Ameen said to me, we can spend the moment crying about it, or we can also think about how we're gonna fix this moment and how we're gonna just work together to just move forward in these situations. And that helped me move forward in the career because I left YouthBuild when I was a community projects coordinator, going to other schools and figuring out my role in that school and trying to think about how I can impact this school the way Ameen impacted YouthBuild.
Like there's a moment that I think is important in any mentoring relationship, right? And again, with boundaries are helpful, I wanna keep emphasizing that. There's a level of vulnerability that you have. And you just don't get that narrative between 2 black men. Like, it's not as if we have feelings or emotions, right? And it's not as if that we can discuss those things in healthy ways. I promise you we did that with every student in the 2 years that we worked together here at YouthBuild. We talked about Isaiah a little bit. Like Isaiah's now in the role that Chris was once in, you know, as a full-time AmeriCorps member community projects coordinator, right? And Isaiah was an excellent student here at YouthBuild.
To have someone the same color as you, I find that cool, but to have a different relation on another level is like, we could talk about anything and be organic about it. So having Chris as a mentor, I didn't look at him as a mentor, I looked at him more of a big brother. That's what a mentor is, but more of a big brother, someone I can call and like, I really need to talk to you right now. I stayed close with Chris because of the way that he carried himself, the way that he dressed, talked, the code switching, just him being himself in all, down to the crazy socks. I wear crazy socks now, but he taught me to be your natural self and showed me how to do things rather than just telling me. So that was like, I gotta stay close by this man because there's somebody that I wanna be like. Mr. Ameen, it was like, you can own a room. And that voice and what you bring to the table, it was something like, it sparked. You gave me the word tangible. You gave me some tangible things to take with me. So just taking that and twisting it with my own style, it was like, I got a little bit of best of the both worlds. So just learning and staying close to who you want to be like and learning from them, it's priceless.
Because mentoring to me is a 2-way relationship. It is always and it will always be an exchange. If you know anything about mentoring, you know that it is very much 2-way. I'd be foolish to not look at a student like Isaiah and say like, you have a platform with your peers that I know I can't access, You have the power, position, and privilege right now to go lead. All I can say, like, here's the front of the stage, let's go. And if you want to learn some things, we'll do that in the mentoring relationship. And that's important to me, and it's a super important question of, like, how does it continue to grow?
These two are the reason why, like, I do the work I do now, at the impact that I do it. Like, I first got to YouthBuild, and seeing how Ameen moved and the impact he had on me, I would think, like, this is the spark I need for my passion. And then just connecting with Isaiah, this is the spark I need for my passion.
When the roles come full circle, you get a chance to look at your mentees and say, like, man, I respect that. I want to be like them. And man, not for nothing in mentoring, that happens every day at YouthBuild. And for folks that watch this video, like, who may think of it and see it as like, oh, everybody does mentoring. Well, no, everybody don't do mentoring like this. And because I don't work here anymore, like, I shout it every time because I see places where it doesn't happen like this. And this should be cherished. Like, the mentoring that happens here, and yes, this is an example of many examples, but to me, this is a national model example. This is a model that I think improves education spaces, it improves systems, it improves cities, it improves policies, it improves all of that when you add all of the other things that schools can do. But this right here should be everywhere because I'm a living embodiment as a practitioner, as a leader of an organization, of what it looks like when it goes well. And I'm a receiver of that.
It's too important to not do well, but it can really, it can have a huge impact. It changes lives, it transforms lives.